I learned so much from her the last time she was on our show. And what I loved about what she spoke to was this idea that you don't have to start with a whole lot to be at the end of the finish line of financial freedom. And I think that's a message that resonates with so many of us when we think about, planning for retirement or even just living a life of self-actualization where we live the kind of life we want for ourselves. A lot of us think I need to make a certain amount of money first before I can do it. But Myra Oliver, in her book, terrific book, Down Home Money, shows us sort of a roadmap, of how we can make money work for us. It's called A Simple Approach to Financial Freedom, the book for a reason. A little bit of background in case this is the first time that you're listening to Myra on our show. She went from being a hairstylist, $5 haircuts, to being a young business owner at the age of 20, and then retired a self-made millionaire in the span of just 13 years. Her Amazon bestseller is Down Home Money. It's been doing really well, I understand. Enterprise Magazine last year called it one of the 8 books to pick up in order to help you find financial bliss. Love that. Myra Oliver, good morning.
Good morning or good evening. Where it depends on where you are.
It does. Yeah, it's 10:14 in the morning here. We so appreciate you joining us all the way from, is it Texas?
It is Denton, Texas, right outside of Dallas.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, good evening. It's evening there. Is that what
It's
it is?
evening.
Okay. All right. Now that we got that sorted, Myra, we want to thank you for coming back. We had so much fun with you the last time, and you share so openly about pretty much everything in life. Have you always been this confident in yourself to be an open book? Because it takes vulnerability to do that.
It does. And I think my mom and dad, I have to give them a lot of credit because they just raised me to be whoever I wanted to be. No judgment. Just always said to me, you can be whatever you want to be. And so I was really blessed in that way. And I think that's just what I continue that through life. I am who I am. And I just try to stay authentic
Love
and
that.
true to
Love that.
myself.
And the book, I think, has that spirit in it. It is, here's how I did it, and here's how you can do it too. What can you just, for the listener, summarize a couple of the key lessons that you have learned, the most important things that you have done to build up your wealth?
Yes, absolutely. The thing about what I learned about money is it's so simple, but we complicate it. Every day we complicate money. And it's truly money in, money out, and keeping more money in. And I really found that it's not how much money you make, Michelle, it's how much money you keep. And for me, I was doing $5 haircuts. And so when people tell me, oh, you just made a lot of money in your, life and that's why you're where you're at today, I'm like, no, I saved a lot of money. And then I bought assets. And I think that was really what made a difference for me is I took my money and did down payments on houses. And my first retirement at 33 was we had bought 10 rental properties and we had bought them over 13 years. And our whole goal was to get my husband out of the police department. He was a policeman. I was a hairstylist. So my whole goal was, okay, I'm going to get my husband out of the police department. And that's how we got started. And so we built a rental portfolio that threw us off 5,000 net a month. And that would pay all of our bills and allow us the freedom to do and go and just have fun.
And that really started from saving, saving basically with the $5 haircuts, but
Yes.
you'd also started Realty, right? You'd started in the property
Yeah, so
business.
I was saving our money for the down payments of those rentals, right? And so that I didn't know anything else. I have a high school education from the great state of Kentucky, which you and I have a little, yeah, yeah. And so from the great state of Kentucky, so that's a great education. And so I didn't have any other really skills or talent. My grandmother was a
Mm.
hairstylist, and that's really what I wanted to do. My mom and dad were really shooting for me becoming a veterinarian because I love animals. And so they were like, she's going to be a vet. And I was like,
Mm.
but no, I think I'm going to be a hairstylist. 9 months or 9 years. Yeah, I'm going to be a hairstylist. And so that's how that got started. But I just wanted to figure out another way to make an income without having to stand behind a chair and trade my time for money. So if I'm going to cut hair for 12 or 14 hours a day, I wanted to make sure I took that money and did something really good with it, because money's only good for the good it can do.
So
And so,
you start with
yeah,
real assets. You start with the houses, the rental houses.
I
And then
did.
you move into investing, right? When did
Yes.
that start for you, building your
I
investment portfolio?
I started young. And so I think that's what's so important to tell people, is that right now,
Mhm.
especially if you're in your 20s, you can be a millionaire. And it's with simple, consistent investing every single month. The younger you are, the less money you need. With compounding, it's incredible what happens. So here's what happened to me. I
Mhm.
had a gentleman that sat in my chair, and he said to me, "Young lady, what are you doing for your retirement?" And I just laughed. I said, "Listen, I'm 25 years old. I'm not worried about retirement.
I'm thinking about
I, you know,
tomorrow.
Listen, I'm thinking about what I'm going to wear tonight when I go out, right?" And he said to me, he goes, "I promise you, I can make you a millionaire." And I just laughed. But when he said the word millionaire, he piqued my interest, because here's the deal. What he didn't know is, on my mirrors at my house, because every morning I would do affirmations, and one of them was, "I'm going to be a millionaire."
Oh my gosh.
And so I was always saying these affirmations to myself, because I'm a firm believer is that everything starts right here in the mind. I think
Mm.
you have to tell yourself you have to feed yourself positivity. Because a lot of times, you kind of you're feeding yourself things that are for the future. And maybe you don't really see yourself getting there. But if you tell yourself that every day, listen, I knew I was going to get there, because every day I was telling myself, so it had to happen, right? And so he shared with me about Vanguard. And I opened a Vanguard account, and I did it in one fund. And it was in the Vanguard 500, the S&P 500. I did it in that fund, and that index fund. And I put in, I started out $100 a month. That's all I could really afford at the time. Within 10 years, that fund had about 160 something thousand in it. Within 20 years, it hit over $1 million.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a
Without changing
beautiful number.
anything. I know. And all I did is
Oh,
I made consistent monthly investments, never looked at it. You should see, my accountant used to laugh, because I'd bring in those envelopes for my statements. I never
yeah.
opened them. I never looked at it. Every month, automatic withdrawal in my account into the Vanguard Index 500 S&P every month. And within 20 years, he was correct. I was a millionaire. If I hadn't done anything else, and I hadn't bought any real estate or done anything, I would have secured my future. So that's what really made me think, I need to share my story. I need to share with people that, you know what, whether you have $5, and listen, so many people go buy Starbucks. I just laugh about that, because I can fix coffee at home and it doesn't cost me 25 cents a cup. I don't know what the difference is in that $5 cup and that 25, except $4.75 is going to my Vanguard account.
That's what I always say. Before you buy something, think, could I just pay myself this money instead of spending it and funding, the cigarette companies or the coffee
Right.
companies? Why don't I just fund Michelle Inc.? Do you know what I
Yes,
mean?
I know
Fund
exactly.
yourself. So this is just amazing because you make it so uncomplicated. Your own story is an uncomplicated story of how you built your wealth. One ETF, right? S&P 500
Right.
ETF. Just
Yes,
incredible. Do you still buy ETFs
I
now that you
do.
are a millionaire?
Yes, I do. And I buy ETFs, I buy mutual funds, I buy stocks. I am a big dividend investor now, and I'm loving the ETFs for my dividends, because I love it because they're monthly. And so, just a few, I want to share with you just a couple I'm buying right now and tell you a little bit why I'm buying them. So,
That would be
one of
great.
them is the Vanguard, and it is a Vanguard long term bond index ETF. And so for me, because I'm a little older and probably some of your viewers, right? I am in the retirement stage. I am doing that just to secure my portfolio. It's the only bonds I have, period. Just
10
because,
years,
you know,
20
you
years,
should,
30 years? How long? What are we buying with
for
this
how
ETF?
long? I'm
The
sorry.
bonds. How long are these long-term bonds?
They're
Long-term.
like 10-year bonds.
10-year bonds. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I am right now, that's the only I have, the one I have, and only
Mm,
because I felt like I needed to diversify because my portfolio was really heavy, especially for my age, in stocks.
mhm.
So that's the only bond one. I also do QYLD. So QYLD is a Global X NASDAQ cover call, 100 cover call ETF, and it pays a great monthly dividend. So that's another one that I am investing in right now, and I am doing it. I'm buying shares every month. And
Regularly.
so I'm really enjoying the monthly dividend and I'm having it reinvested. So
That is
it's
just so fantastic. Thank you
compounding.
for your generosity in sharing these ETFs that you're buying with us.
Sure. You know, and just because I'm buying them doesn't mean that they're the best, right? I do a lot
Indeed.
of research and I want
Mhm.
everybody to do their due diligence because I will
Mhm.
tell you if you ask me, I would tell you I'm a novice. There are so many
Right.
people that know a lot more than I do. I just have been really having some serious success. And so I'm loving last month my dividend portfolio. And, you know, on my YouTube channel, I'm sharing
How much you're
my
making, right?
monthly,
Yeah.
yes, I'm sharing it because I want people to see it because I am a novice and I want them to be able to watch me fail my way forward because that's what I do. But I've learned so much in the last year and a half. But I'm
Mhm.
making over $11,000 a month now in my monthly dividends. Now I have them all reinvested, so my portfolio is getting really big
Oh, that's an
just by
exciting
doing
portfolio.
that.
Oh my gosh. So you say it was once very heavy, almost 100% equity
Yes.
stocks, and now you have just that couple of
Just
ETFs.
yeah, I do. I have a couple,
Couple
but
of
the
ETFs.
only
Okay.
bond, and it's only about 3% of my portfolio. But I just did it because my accountant told me, you know, you should have some bonds because your age. And I go, my age, it's age, mind over matter. How old am I? Listen,
You
I'm young. I'm
please
not worried about
look at the hair. The hair is beautiful
it. And that's
and
really my
ageless.
hair.
It's
You know, all the US women, they all have extensions. Girl,
gorgeous,
this
gorgeous.
is my hair. Okay. This is the real stuff.
Can't buy good hair. Listen, in terms of stocks, are you looking at the US stock market? Do you invest anywhere else in the world? What are some
I
stocks that you're
do.
looking at?
I do. I have one international VXUS with Vanguard. That's the only international one that I have. So, and it too is an ETF.
Okay, so mainly the US
Actually, it's
stock
a
market.
mutual fund. I take that back. It's a mutual fund.
It's a mutual fund. Okay, so the fees are
Mhm.
higher than your ETF?
They're just a little higher. I think it's like point. I want to say it's 0.6.
Hmm.
It's a Vanguard fund.
Can you tell us about some other
No,
companies that you're
0.06.
buying into? Are there any
Yeah,
companies that you're
I
interested
love
in?
Yeah, I love Vanguard. It's one of my favorites. It always has been. I am keeping a lot of like I still have Coca-Cola. I have Cardinal Health. I've got a few of them listed right here. I have I tell you one of them that I've been loving this year is
Mhm.
Old Republic. Do you know about Old Republic
Is that
International?
apparel makers?
Actually, Old Republic is insurance. The one
Oh,
I'm
okay, no,
talking
I'm
about,
talking about some other
okay,
republics then. Mhm.
yeah, there is a Old Republic clothing. How funny! But this is OR. Okay, so the ticker is ORI, Old Republic International Corp.
Okay.
ORI. They have
Mhm.
paid two special dividends this year. So it has been an incredible, it's had a lot of growth. Plus, it's paid two special dividends because they're really doing well. So I am buying more of it every month also. So
Oh,
there's another one of my favorites.
it's done really well this year.
Yes.
25.65, currently up 40% year to date.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's a good pick.
I love the special dividends.
Oh,
I mean,
twice a
2
year, huh?
special dividends. We just
Hmm.
got a special dividend, and in January, I had another special dividend on it. So it's
Awesome.
one of my, it's like I'm buying on it every month.
Fantastic. ORI is the ticker, Old Republic International. They're an American property insurance and title deed company.
Yes.
Do you buy
So
REITs at all? Because, they're very
I
popular here
do.
in Singapore, REITs.
Oh, yes. So I'll
Mm.
tell you one of my favorites, and I'm sure it's one of yours. That is Realty Income Corp.
Hmm.
Have you
Okay.
checked it? And the ticker
Not
is
yet.
O. Yeah, check it out.
Realty
And the ticker
Income
is
Corp.
O.
Simple as simple can be. Uh, okay. So Realty Income Corp. Oh, what a huge portfolio. 7,000 commercial properties in 60 industries. And is this the Realty Income Corp that also invests in Puerto Rico, the United Kingdom, and Spain? So they
I'm not
invest in
sure.
properties around the world? Okay. But
I'm
we'll
not
look up
sure
that
if it is.
ticker.
I'm not sure if, I mean, honestly, I love that they pay a monthly dividend. Again, a really good dividend. I started investing in them early on. I am up a lot. I started in the 50s investing in them.
Oh my. When they were in their 50s, they're now at
Yes,
$72.
yes, they
So up
are.
20% year to date.
My
Wow.
portfolio is up 28% this
Oh
year, my
my
total
goodness.
portfolio. So that's pretty exciting for a novelist.
That's amazing. Who has helped you with the investing principles? Is this just something you taught yourself?
It is. Okay, so I mean, I have Vanguard, but I do Vanguard myself. I totally take care of it. I don't have a wealth manager, but I am a student. Now, I will tell you, COVID, I had all this free time because, at one point, I had 3 real estate franchises. So in 2020, my 3 franchises did 1.7 billion in real estate. I had about 700 agents. Because the market's been so good, I've sold 2 franchises this last year. I'm down to 1 franchise because I kept the one in Kentucky. I sold the one in Texas. I sold the one in Columbus, Ohio, and I kept the one in Kentucky because it was my
Hometown.
favorite.
Mhm.
Because of that, I mean, because the real estate market is crazy. I mean, it's so exciting what's happening in real estate. And
Mhm.
so that's kind of where I am right now. COVID slowed me down on my traveling to the offices, so I was here at home, and I have to stay busy. So I started studying. I bought a ton of books. I started studying Warren Buffett. I started studying everything I could get my hands on about stocks and just studying. Vanguard has such a great site, so I started studying their site to learn, and then
Mm.
YouTube. You gotta love YouTube.
Love YouTube.
You gotta
Absolutely love
love
it.
it.
Pretty much anything you want a mini lesson on, you go to YouTube, and that's a great place to start, you know? And
That's
then
exactly right.
and then
And
pick up
that's
a
what I
great
did.
book, I think, where things are finely crafted. But and of course, listen to Money FM, where we have fabulous guests like the wonderful Myra Oliver. We're fresh out of time, Myra. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me. And I
It's
love my Singapore people. Thank you.
We're waiting for you to come visit us, Myra. Myra Oliver is
I
author of
can't wait.
She's author of Down Home Money, A Simple Approach to Financial Freedom. You can also check her out on YouTube.
Money FM 80.